So I wanted to thank you so much for being willing to be part of our Skolego Beta testing team. I really wanted to get together with all of you in the same room and kind of give you this presentation, kind of an orientation, and feed you some snacks and call it a brunch. But unfortunately, time has not allowed for that, so here we are. We're having virtual brunch. Yay! Enclosed in your packet, you should have found a little treat to enjoy while you are participating in this virtual brunch. So thanks. Let's jump right into it, shall we? When you open up your box, you're going to find a bag of Lego pieces, a baseboard, which is green and 10 by 10, and a folder. Ta-da! If you open up the folder, you're going to find a welcome letter. And I'm sure you've already found it because you managed to get to this video, which was referenced in the welcome letter, but also referenced in an email link. So the welcome letter is pretty much going to tell you everything that I'm going to tell you right now, but some people are more visual and want to see the stuff, and I wanted to say hi. So we're going to just jump right into this folder. It contains all the documents that you're going to need to get started with the Skolego testing. The first tab is going to bring you right to the chapter, and the chapter is right here. It's stapled together. It's not very long. It's only about 5 pages, I think. And what you're going to want to do is read it. That's easy enough, right? So you can either read it aloud to your student. You can take turns reading it with your student, paragraph by paragraph. You can have your student read it aloud to you. Or if it's easier for you, you can just take this chapter and send your student off to read it individually while you work with another student, a younger student, or maybe an older student who needs you to sit right next to them, who knows. But as you read through the chapter, or as they read through the chapter, there's going to be a lot of information. This chapter is going to detail what happened on Lexington Green in 1775, and it's going to focus on one particular man who was there, and his name was Jonathan Harrington. The kit that you're going to be building later is his house. So as you flip through, you're going to see photographs with captions, and you're also going to have text boxes with some interesting facts. The interesting facts are fun. They give you a little bit of background information, such as the purpose of a common, why you had a common, this big open space where nobody lived. It goes into detail there, as well as things like why you had a tavern, what's a British regular, what's the difference between that and a regular British citizen. So they're going to go ahead and read the chapter, and that's right in the folder. And then the next tab is the journal tab. The journal is optional, but I find that when students narrate what they've learned back to you, they retain it longer, and then you also have something to gauge how well they're doing. Each of these folders contains 2 sets of journal pages, so if you have an extra student that you'd like to take the program with, you're totally welcome to do that. When you pull out the journal pages, there's just a little blurb at the top about Harrington House, which sits on Lexington Common. And we're asking for you to go ahead and do the journal pages as you see fit, but there are some suggestions. So as the parent educator, you're going to make the determination. If you are okay with them just maybe in outline form, giving you some facts about what happened on that day that they read about, then that's perfectly fine. If you'd rather have them provide you with a narration, there's plenty of space to do that as well. There's, you may find that you need extra of the lined pages, in which case just pull out the staple and photocopy it. There's room to attach a photo of the creation that they've made out of construction bricks. If you don't want them to be using your camera and your printer to create that photo, I totally understand. You can have them just draw a picture. So like I said, as the parent educator, the ball's in your court to decide how they're going to use this program. Just let me know how you decided to use it. So you'll notice as you go on, it's not terribly long. It's meant to really supplement and to enrich your history program that you already have, but we can get into more of that later. As you flip through it, there's going to be other things. You may have a child that's really engineering minded and really enjoys the construction. This is a good opportunity to have them document any changes that they've made to the original design. So the original design is really just a facade. As you can see, it's pretty simple, but you may have more advanced builders who really would be interested in building out other walls to make this structure a little bit stronger. They may want to build interiors as well. So if they decide to do that, that is fantastic. They may have a mind like an engineer, which is great, But as they get older, they're going to find that engineers need to document their changes as well. And so we're going to get them in the habit of just writing down the things that they've changed, why they decided to use a particular brick when there's lots of other bricks to choose from. If they decide to add to the original design, that's going to be with Legos from your own kit. So make sure when we swap this kit back to us that we get our original Legos and you keep yours, because we don't want to take yours. Trust me, we have enough of our own. So that's all here. Lots of room to do that. And then the last page of the journal, the last suggestion, just talks about what is missing from the interior or the exterior. Obviously, there's an entire interior missing, but specifically, maybe a kitchen or a bathroom or a bedroom or a family room. Maybe what's missing on the outside is livestock or an outhouse. So those are things that they can consider. It also encourages them to look up what kitchens and bathrooms were like in the 18th century. I find that when kids can make that connection to how other people lived, doing the same exact things that they do every day, that really brings history alive for them. So here's an opportunity for them to research that. If that means they need to build an outhouse or a privy, then, that's totally up to you how far down that road you want to go. Like I said, as the parent educator, you just pull the plug if you think it's getting too weird or too potty talkish. So it also encourages them to illustrate or take a picture of what their creation is and tell us a little bit about it. You do not have to turn these journals into me when you're done. You're welcome to, or to take a picture of something and send it to me, but this is really for you to keep if you're interested. You're welcome to turn it into me if you'd like. So that's the journal tab that you're going to see. So everything is tabbed up, so it's really easy to see. There's also a build guide tab. When you get to the build guide, you're going to see a very simple elementary guide. It's meant for non-readers to be able to follow along with, and we had a few new ideas about build guides. Let us know what you think, because this is an initial draft and we would totally appreciate any constructive criticism or input that you have. But you'll notice that each box that tells you what bricks you're going to need, they have a child's hand holding the bricks so that there's a little bit of scale. You can, of course, count the studs to make sure that you have the right bricks, but we also thought that having a child's hand there would help you with that. So as you follow along with the guide, it's just the hand showing you which bricks you need to complete the next step, and then it shows you what the completed next step should be before it goes on. This is 11 pages long, and you're going to notice at the very end that there's a little person that gets stuffed into the house at the very, very end that is not included in your kit. We hope to include him in the future kits that we have for a larger market, but we're going to talk more about him later. So watch out for him. So that's in there. Then on the last tab, you're going to find our survey. Ta-da! It's 2 pages long. It's only 10 questions. I'm including it because I've done a lot of market research for lots of different companies online, and they ask you to test out a product and then in a week tell us what you think. And I find that a week's gone by, and now I finally have time to sit down at the computer and do that silly online survey, and I don't remember half the things that I had thought about during the week that pertain to that particular product. So I was really thinking that this might be helpful for you to have ahead of time. You would know what sort of questions we're asking so that you can be prepared to answer them when you're done using the kit. You can also use the survey papers in here to jot down your answers so that it's much easier and quicker for you to complete the survey at the end of your time with the kit. Also, if there's something really important, I'd hate to have that slip your mind and not get that information from you. So definitely use this. Okay, so now that I've brought you to the internet, oh, did I tell you that you need to do the survey online? There's a link in the welcome letter, but the survey needs to be done online. It's where I can get all the information compiled in one place. But, so now that I've brought you to the internet, let me tell you some other really exciting things that we're doing. We have a Twitter account. You can find us at Skolego, and we also have a Facebook account. It's facebook.com//build Skolego. So if you just search for us, you're going to find Skolego. We would really appreciate any photographs or great little anecdotes being shared on either the Twitter or the Facebook page. That now brings us to our little character here, John Harrington. Can you see him? He's not included in your kit, unfortunately. We just don't have enough to include them in the kits at this time. But what I'd really love to do is kind of bring something fun into this whole project. So you're going to learn about John Harrington in the chapter, and so are your students. My hope is that you guys could maybe create your own John Harrington and share him on our Twitter and Facebook pages. He can be made out of paper, cardboard, felt, tinfoil, whatever you've got that your students would like to create their own little John Harrington with. He could be a drawing, a painting, 3D, 2D. He could even be computer animated, whatever you'd like. Keep in mind, in the story of John Harrington, it is kind of tragic. So I don't necessarily need pictures posted to our Twitter or Facebook account of the end of John Harrington. We want to be respectful. Of course, as the parent educator, what's happening in your own home with children and boys especially, that's totally up to you. But please keep what goes onto our Facebook and our Twitter accounts totally appropriate and respectful. You know, just in case his family were to one day find him on the internet. I'd hate to find like a tinfoil Harrington on his steps or something. So definitely do that. I'd love to have that. I also would like to introduce a John Harrington lookalike contest where you or your students, probably your students, would interpret John Harrington either by dressing up as a Minuteman or a modern day Minuteman, somehow interpreting the story of John Harrington by dressing up as him and participating in our lookalike contest. Did he have a beard? Did he not have a beard? Does your child want to grow a beard or stick one to their face? Totally up to you. Whatever you'd like. We do live in New England, the land of the fake beards following the World Series. So I totally encourage whatever you want there. Post your photos to our Facebook and our Twitter pages, and make sure you follow us as well so you can see who wins. Also, while you're following us, we really hope to, in the future, be hosting historical live tweets on our Twitter account. It's a great way to kind of follow along different events in history and see what happened on the day or the time that is happening right now, but maybe 50, 100, 2,000 years ago. It's kind of a fun thing. If you saw, a museum recently did that with the Pompeii eruption from 79 AD, and it was actually really fun to follow along, really interesting for me and my children. So I was hoping to kind of bring that to you guys too on our Twitter page, really having history and the stories of history come alive. At Skolego, we really believe that stories matter. We feel like this is our history is the telling of God's story, what is happening in our world today, what has happened in the past, really tells God's story, and we really love being a part of that. And if you're telling the truth and if you're telling history in an honest way, you're going to see God's truth emerge from that. And we really would love to be a part of that. And we invite you to be a part of it too. So I think I've covered just about everything. I covered the survey and I covered our social media. I guess that's all. We'd love to have everything back by December 20th. I will drive to you to come and get your kits from you. So you don't have to be on the hook for shipping or driving at all. I want this to be as easy on you as possible. Make sure you enjoy the treat that came in the box because that's part of your virtual brunch. And I'll see you guys at Mass Hope. Thank you so much again. Bye now.